there you go, some awesome puddles. All the workshop floor, we're just about to drag that all off now. Now it's brightening up for a minute, you never know, we might get a couple of hours. Right, so this is what we've done this morning. Windows in, but real simple. All we've done is put measure, pack, and then screw it in inside the frame. Simple. Times 2. Same again. Packers, measure packers, cut packers, screw them in. Right. And then wait till you see this bad boy. Done this wall in the log lap. Looks cool. And we'll show you how we did that. It's real simple again. Put the first one on, tack it on one end, spirit level in the middle, make sure that's nice and level. Check the second one's level and then just crack on through the pissing rain doing it. Right, so I'll just leave it on record now. Here I'm using the Japanese pulsar to open the threshold up. Japanese pulsar is great for cutting straight lines, fast and easy, real simple to use. Recommend it. No explanation needed. Just a bit of footage of us about to mark out and cut the cladding. You can see the little setup we've got. We've not got a stop block, so we are just measuring, cutting one piece and then using that piece to reference all the others off. And you can see we've got our little block at the end, what we use just to support the piece. Made this out of MDF, and I found that on somebody else's channel. What was his name? The Gosforth Handyman, Andy Mac, that was him. And he uses them little blocks for his mitre stand. Cracking little idea. I made a couple. Great for supporting your work pieces. Anyway, here you can see us just cutting all the pieces to length, and then we're going to crack on putting them on. So guess what we're doing here? Yeah, you guessed it right. We're putting them on. Anyway, these are 4.8 metres long, these pieces. So we didn't need to cut these down at all. They fit perfect. And as me and Jake put them on, you definitely need 2 people, one each side. And then you just tap the tongue groove together and pop a couple of screws in each end. And then we put several screws along in all the joists as well. This is how we do the first board. You can see on the left hand side there I've popped one screw in, and then I use the spirit level while adjusting it on the right hand side to get it level, hold it in place as steady as I can, and then get the drill, pile it all and screw it in. Just got to be careful not to drop it, otherwise you have to get spirit level back out and start the process again. But simple enough. Then once you've got a screw in each end, as you can see here, I just put the remainder of the screws in and move on to the next piece. So after you've done the first piece and the second one, there's no need to check that it's level again after that, in my opinion. I just check on the first, second one and then crack on. Started to rain again, so I have put the plastic sheet over the mitre so just to keep that dry and stop me getting electrocuted, and this way I can keep on going even though it's raining a bit. Definitely helps having one of these rubber mallets when you're doing this, guys, because you need to tap the tongue groove into place. It can be quite tight fit, and you don't want to be using your hands to push it into place all the time because you just get wear and tear on your wrist and elbow, as I found out. So mallet's great for just tapping it into place and just tapping it if you need to move it a little bit from left to right or vice versa. What I'm doing here is I'm just ripping the tongue off the tongue groove as this piece is going just under the window frame, and you don't want the tongue on show, you just want a nice smooth finish. So I'm just ripping that off and you'll see in a minute where it goes. So here it is, just under the window there. I'm overlapping the tongue groove onto the window by about an inch, and then I'm going to silicone around there as well to stop water ingressing in behind there and getting into the insulation, and it gives a nice smooth finish when you rip the tongue off as well. So I measured the first one, cut that to length, and then I used that for a reference to cut the remainder for this section here. That was a lot quicker than doing one at a time, and soon cracked on through this bit and got them all done in no time. Amy's having fun using the workshop as a climbing frame, and we just had a good tidy up of the workshop, and we're getting rid of loads of bits of offcuts and all scrap what was laying around the garden. You can see the log lap cladding looks quite nice, and on the end grain we put one of the 3x2s on each side just to protect the end grain, and it also protects the log lap from me bashing into it with my lawnmower. Looks pretty smart. And I think we got quite a lot achieved today, considering it was chucking it down for 3/4 of the day. Probably did about 12 hours, I think it was, in total today. And it was hard work, but we got there in the end. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe.